be a pro, period. You show up, you know your stuff, you're ready to work, you're ready to change it if need be, but you're ready with good ideas. You know how the camera works, so you know what to do to help out the cameraman in their job. Meanwhile, you're still doing your job too. You are still making sure that you get your emotions in the right place to perform what you're supposed to perform. But if you can keep mind on their stuff too a tiny bit and help them out and help, as you said, help them get their day, that makes you an asset in a big way. As you said, be a solution.
Welcome to Inside the Audition, the podcast where we go behind the scenes for a deep dive look into the world of auditions. I'm Joe Lars Larson, creator of Actors Audition Club, an international community helping actors book your dream roles in TV, film, and theater.
And I'm Brandon Knox, actor, producer, and co-host. Each episode, we chat with actors and industry professionals to share their audition experiences, insights, and advice.
We provide actors with actionable tips, strategies, and resources to help you elevate your auditions.
We demystify the often intimidating and misunderstood world of auditions to help you succeed.
So whether you're just starting out on your acting journey or you're a seasoned pro, join our Actors Audition Club members as we go
Inside the Audition.
Hey actors, are you ready to take charge of your acting career? Start tracking your audition progress with our free audition success tracker tool from Actors Audition Club. This incredible tool has been designed to help you log every audition, review what worked, and highlight your areas for improvement. Tracking your audition journey is a key to growing as an actor, and this incredible tracker tool makes it easy. Download your audition success tracker today at actorsauditionclub.com/tracker. That's actorsauditionclub.com/tracker, and start building your roadmap to audition success today. Hey, it's me, Joey Freddy Larson, and today we've got a very special episode in a series of episodes featuring some of the cast and crew from a new horror anthology series called Tales from the Void. I was lucky enough to be cast in a lead role in one of the episodes on Tales from the Void, so I thought, why not have some chats with some of the cast and crew, creators. You can watch Tales from the Void on Screambox in the US. That's the streaming site Screambox. In Canada, you can watch it on Amazon Prime and also on Super Channel. It is a horror thriller anthology series, super cool in the realm of Black Mirror, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. All of the stories are based on the Reddit subthread No Sleep, which features some real creepypasta type stories. Again, if you're a fan of No Sleep, you're going to love this show. So enjoy today's episode featuring one of the cast and crew from Tales from the Void. My episode is the premiere episode called Into the Unknown. I know you're going to love it. Check out Tales from the Void on Screambox or Amazon Prime Super Channel. Here comes the episode. All right, we are here with today's guest. I'm excited for this one. This is Martin Roach, one of my co-stars from Tales from the Void, Into the Unknown. What's up, Martin?
Not much, Joey. How you doing today?
Good, man. Thanks for agreeing to be on this. This is Inside the Audition. We're going to talk a lot about Tales from the Void. I want to get into your brain since you've got 30 plus years experience in TV, film, voiceover as well. But first, can you just take a few minutes? I always love hearing people's origin story to how they got into this weird, wacky world. All of us have a different story, whether it was a child actor or a lot of people, this is a second or third career. You've been at it for a long time, so I know you started young, but tell us, how did you get into this world?
Well, geez. Well, I guess it was that thing that I always wanted to do. I wasn't a child actor or anything like that, but I did do some stuff in high school. I was, drama club kind of kid. It's kind of that dual citizen, semi-jock, semi-actor, jack of all trades, master at none. Decided that anybody that really went for it as an actor was absolutely nuts and out of their mind. Why would you do that to yourself? Too crazy, too hard, too difficult. F that. And decided to do radio. So I went into radio and television for school. But while doing that, we had to make our own productions. So we had to act in each other's productions. And I, acted in my friends and in my own. And then everybody was asking me to act in their productions. And I was like, damn it. Like, I really like this. So made the decision, dropped out, started working as a bartender. Well, I was already working as a bartender in school anyhow, but continued that and just started taking courses around Toronto. Got to a point where I thought I'd learned enough to start something, but I just wanted something to push me over the edge. So I went to New York and did some school down there. Came back, sent out the resume, probably 50, maybe 60 or 70 of them. And one agent responded.
Wow.
Yeah. Like one dude out of 50, 60 of them. And I'm still with him, still my agent.
Amazing. What a great lesson for people to learn. Yeah. What did you do? Like, were those all sent out at the same time, or was that like
Oh,
you had gotten 69 no's and then finally got a yes? How did that shake down?
I sent out a bunch at a time. I probably sent out, I'm thinking like groups of 20,
Right.
as I got back from New York. It was just like, okay, that's enough, right? You send them out and a week later, nothing. And this is the days of mail. So a
Right.
week was plenty of time.
Yeah,
you know?
not to date
Uh,
yourself or age yourself, but yeah, you came from you're from a different era.
exactly.
This was
Oh, yeah.
pre-internet,
Oh,
pre-social media. So this
oh,
was
this is pre everything.
packages of physical
Yeah.
headshots and your
Yeah.
resume. Was there ever like a
100%.
VHS of a demo reel? Was that a thing?
No, I had nothing. I had zero. All I had was what it said on my resume. There was a couple of student films that I had done with people that I changed the names because one a producer slash director wouldn't change the name of something that it was just one of those horrible titles that nobody could ever live by. So I just said, no, it's now this. No,
Nice.
nobody's gonna find this, right?
Right.
Luckily, nobody
There were
looked it
no
up.
fact checkers looking through student film
Exactly.
archives.
Exactly. This is 1995. Fact check wasn't a word. No,
Right.
that exists.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of our words in 2024 weren't words 15 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all new, man. I can't keep up with them anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm old and I'm okay with that.
So you landed an agent, somebody took a chance on you, said this kid's
Yeah.
got something. The sparkle in your
Yep.
eye and the headshot, maybe?
Yeah, that was it. The sparkle in my eye. Actually, really, call it interesting or not, but I did my audition for him, and he told me something really interesting. At least to me, it was interesting. He said, "Okay, I like what you got. You got a good look, versatile. You could probably be bad guy, good guy, whichever." But he also said, "I don't have you on my resume right now. If I did, I wouldn't have even looked at you."
Say that again. What did he say?
He said, "I don't have someone like you on my resume right now."
Like on his
Meaning
roster, you mean?
on his roster. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
I meant roster, not resume. He
Gotcha.
didn't have someone with my look. He didn't have a young black man. And because remember, this is the 90s. There truly weren't a great deal of me running around. There
Right.
wasn't a lot of black actors in Toronto. And he said, if you're white, I don't know if I could take you on because I have you this many times.
Hmm.
But I don't have you, so let's take a shot. I think we can do something. And I started working within 2 months. I nailed a couple of, well, one big movie and another, like a small role in a big movie and a big role in a small movie, almost right off the bat. Like one was in January, one was in February. And my friends that were already actors, they all told me one thing, bro, it doesn't work this way. And they were absolutely right because it sure as hell does not come like that.
Right.
But
Yeah, you're
I
like,
just
oh, you just book every audition you ever get. Yeah.
exactly that's how it
This is
goes, right?
this is easy.
Exactly. This acting thing. Come on, everybody says it's a
Right.
hard life.
Yeah. Where
Please.
are all these struggling actors? What's wrong with them?
It must be them. Must be their fault. Yeah, not quite.
Well, it's not like you've struggled too much because if for people who look at your, I mean, I know you, I'm sure within that we all have our years and our stretches, but for those of you
Right.
listening and watching, if you go to Martin Roach's IMDb, I feel like you've been in everything. To name a few, Cube Zero, Falling Skies, Schitt's Creek, The Shape of Water, Spotlight, Inspector Gadget, and my favorite title, Wish Fart. What was Wish Fart?
Wish Art was a cartoon I did
Gotcha.
a few years ago. Just a crazy, weird leprechaun on acid type dream, and
Wow.
I was this cat. I can't even remember my character's name right now, but he was just this cool cat, man, who just never really got higher than this. Always just very zen, very cool, very, hey,
Love it.
why you messing up my place?
So you mean you
Just
you just played
and
yourself?
his hair was on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for your hair being
I,
on fire, you were playing
yeah.
yourself.
I'm always playing myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have enough range to play anybody but me.
I want to get to we'll eventually get to Tales from the Void, and we're going to promote that and talk about our experience on that show. But since this is Inside the Audition, can you speak to your audition process, tips, advice, or maybe just walk us through? Your agent sends you the email with the breakdown and the script. What does Martin do from that time to submitting the
To submit the
audition?
actual thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
including how you
it's
think about them, how you look at them. I know a lot of it is how you see auditions and like
mhm,
how you view them, and then tactical, what your actual process is.
what the care process is. Well, my process has changed over the years. Well, it's finally changed, I should say. It used to be, when it first started, dating myself again, I'd walk up to the Staples to get the facts and pay them
The what? The what?
like the facsimile and go back and look over it and I used to just pour over it and just get the words, just say it as much as I could just to get the words. And I kind of kept that idea of my auditions for quite a while because it was just important for me to learn what it was. And I never thought super intentionally about what was going on. I would just let a lot happen subconsciously because once I know the words, the actions, they just kind of take care of themselves to a degree. I mean, depending on the role, depending on how big the role is as well. If it's a 10 liner, okay, what does this person want? Where's he going? How's he getting there? That's it. It's like basically three thoughts: get through the lines and have a little bit of intention. And when it's a 10 pager, okay, because remember we used to get those back in those days. There was no limit. Just do as much as you can. Then getting the lines was much more monumental. And then you really had to attach those three things to different parts of it again and again and again. So just time. Time was always my friend. I got to a point where I was auditioning for four times a day, 3 or 4 days a week for a few years. Back in the busy days. I mean, I wasn't nailing everything, but I would I'd look over everything at night. And this is between commercials and movies and voiceovers. So, I mean, it's not like I have 10 things that are 10 pages or five things that are 10
Right.
pages. Some things might be just a few words, but I'd look over everything at night, but I wouldn't memorize because I'm a procrastinator and I'm a last minute guy.
Mm.
So I'd drive in the morning, get to the audition house an hour before, sit in my car and memorize as much as I could of that one, get it done, right back to the car, over to the next place, memorize that, and so on during the day. So I had this whole cramming mentality
Right.
for years. it worked for me because I had a really good short-term memory at that point. So I knew I could get to those questions. I knew that would come through, and it did. It mostly, I mean, somewhat worked out for me because I was always doing something. As I get older, the auditions are a little fewer and farther between, but they tend to be better auditions. And now I'm at that point where I take my time. I mean, today is a Tuesday. I think I have an audition, not an audition, but some work to do. We're actually filming on Saturday. I'm looking over those words as of 2, 3 days ago. I'm not pushing them into my brain yet. I'm just taking half an hour to an hour out of every day to just say them and let it all seep in. And I will do that until it's time to go to work. I will know everything by the time I go to work, and I won't have to fumble around looking for anything. I will have certain intentions already built in, but they won't be so solid that I can't change them. And that actually, let me backtrack a tiny bit. That I think is what I brought to auditions when I was, snapping them off like 10 a day type thing. It was, I knew the words because I just crammed them in, but they weren't so encrusted in my brain that I couldn't change the meaning of them.
Right.
It wasn't a problem for someone to redirect me.
Right. You're
Uh,
kind of locked in a certain way.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd have it. I came into the room with something that I wanted to do, but I at no point thought that was the only way to do it, because and it wasn't so ingrained in my brain that, well, this is the way. There's no other way. I mean it like this. I can't mean it like that. Well, of course you can. Especially going into the audition process, you only have your snippet. Most of the time, you don't know what happened before. You don't know what's happening after. So the director or the casting director, but hopefully if you're lucky enough, the director is there, or a producer or a writer, they can give that to you, and it can give you a clue. And that's what they're trying to do. When they're giving you these snippets of what happens before or after, they're trying to help you, because despite what we think sometimes, they want us to get the job.
Right.
They don't want to sit there all day and look at people and go, no, no, no. They want someone to come in and go, that's my guy, that's my girl, that's it. I don't have to do this anymore. They want every single person to get the role. So those little snippets, I think, really count. You got to just take them in, see what you can do with it. One of the best compliments I think that I can get in an audition situation is nice adjustments. Because it's like, hey, it's just somebody telling you that you took in what I said, you turned it a little bit. We could possibly work. Not we can, but we could possibly work together. That's what it means. To me, at least. That's how I've taken it over the years.
Yeah, that's so important because it shows that you can be a collaborator. You're not so stuck in how you want it. Obviously, film is a director's medium. The director is the captain of the ship. So you got to be able to adjust to that. Yeah, that's great advice, to be malleable, to make strong choices and come in with something, but also
you still have to come in with something.
Be able to flex. Yeah. Change. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't come in with nothing, because then you're just a slab. I mean,
right.
Then it really can be anybody. You got to give them some reason to choose you.
Right.
There's got to be something in there to begin with, because I mean, you can't be malleable if you're nothing to begin with, I guess.
No, that's a great point. Yeah. That's on the quote card of the episode right there. Can you share maybe a trap or a mistake that you feel some actors make, or maybe you made in the past that now you've adjusted when it comes to auditions, either in how you were looking at them or how you were preparing for them?
Yeah, I guess the one thing, not a trap as much as an attitude of going in, saying your piece and leaving. Ask to do it again if you really weren't happy. if you part of you just like, I never got to what I was thinking to where I wanted to go. I mean, yes, they have a busy day, but it's your shot. I started to later on in my career just say, hey, you know what? Can I just do one more? And I started to do that more because that is what we do on set sometimes.
Mm.
The crew may be happy, the director may be happy, but sometimes you're not. And so you just say, hey, you know what? Can I have another? I just really feel like I could deliver something else. And sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. That's just the way it is. It doesn't always work out for you.
Right.
And you can do this on set, and you can do this in an audition. You can ask, but I mean, I don't know how worthwhile this is anymore because we audition on tape and
True.
not in person anymore. So I mean, I don't know who you're asking besides yourself.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's still great advice to just have the empowerment to go after what you want. And if it's something that you really want and you didn't think you were right there, making sure that you are taking your shot or at least presenting the full meal deal that you wanted to show them. Yeah, you're right. It's different. That
Yeah,
is one of the advantages to self tapes is you can do retakes until you're like, yeah, that's the one that I want to do.
yeah,
And in an in person, if the first take doesn't quite go, like now a lot of our in persons are via Zoom, so it is live, but it's via Zoom. So I
yeah,
think that's the common spot where
yeah,
it's often one and done and okay, great, yep, thanks. And yeah, having the
yeah,
courage and confidence to at least ask for what you want
yeah,
rather than be like, did you like it? Do you want more from me? Should I leave? Should I
yeah,
stay? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it, and I understand that feeling because we're pleasers. I mean, in general, that's what we're
Right.
trying to do is please somebody. It's like yeah, I don't do it that much anymore, but when I'm in the vocal booth, sometimes I still find myself, I do a take, and then
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, it's like, good, good, yeah. It's like, come on,
Did you like it?
like stop. Yeah, exactly.
Throw me a bone?
Like me, please
Bone?
like me.
Yeah. little,
Exactly. Phone,
little
phone,
pat on
phone
the
now.
head. Good boy, Martin. Good boy, Martin.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, actors, do you want to nail your next audition? Download our free audition success checklist from Actors Audition Club. This checklist is packed with everything you need to be fully prepared, focused, and confident. Whether you're new to auditions or you're a seasoned pro, this checklist is your ultimate guide to owning your auditions and making an unforgettable impression with a standout self tape. Do not leave success to chance. Get your free audition success checklist today at actorsauditionclub.com/checklist. Once again, that's actorsauditionclub.com/checklist and take control of your audition journey today. No, it's true. There is a certain, we're humans, so there's a certain part of that ingrained in us for sure. You
Oh
mentioned
yeah.
voiceover. I know you've your IMDb, you got a really interesting career because you've done comedy, you've done what you call dramatic stuff, and then you've done a lot of animation. A lot of it is like wacky kids stuff too. So I like
Yeah.
you do have a lot of range and your resume is quite wide. Can you speak to some of the differences in the voiceover world, especially the auditioning for, do you see
Okay.
those differently? Is that the same thing?
No, I actually see them fairly the same. I mean, I don't have to memorize. That's the greatest difference.
Right.
Is you don't have to memorize. You have the advantage of having the page right there. You get it. That's also I guess you can call that a disadvantage, but I wouldn't because some people they just want to exude. The thing about the hardest thing about the voiceover world is that it's insular. It is that it's tough to break in. And the only thing I can say really to that is just don't stop. Like keep knocking on the door, keep training, keep banging it down. Because if you've got one job in the voice world, you can get another one. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be harder to get into than camera for most people.
Right.
The people on the inside of the industry, they want to get into the studio and get out of the studio as fast as they can. So the reason they go to a lot of the same people is that they just already know that.
Right.
They
Yeah.
they
Proven
know that,
entity,
okay,
proven asset, easy to work with.
yeah,
Yeah. Wasn't a
yeah.
nightmare.
That being a nightmare does not help anybody.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I don't care how talented you think you are.
Right.
I don't think being a nightmare even helps the quote unquote stars who are supposedly nightmares, because it still, surprisingly, it still limits their ability to work. I mean, sure, they only have to work once every 2 years. That's the difference. So we think, oh, they're working all the time. It's like, no, no. Other stars are working twice a year, three times a year on big moves. Everything. You see some people, they're working once a year. Why do you think that is? Because nobody wants to work with them. It does affect them. It really does. So if you don't think that's going to affect you down way down here where we are,
Right.
good luck on that one. Good luck.
Yeah, there's a big, like, I mean, I think it's like any industry, you've got to be a good human being first. And yeah, there is that weird, some people have the certain entitlement, like, oh, I've been around long enough, so now I just get to be a diva or whatever. But really it's like be a good human, build good
Hmm.
relationships, be a problem solver or solution to people's problems. Certainly don't
Yes.
don't be the problem. I mean, you think about
Yeah.
TV and film sets, there's so many moving parts, so much time pressure, so much money pressure. Are they going to get
Yes.
their days? So the more you can be the person that makes it easy and makes it smooth and flowy, and that
Yeah.
that is just that makes you such an asset. Yeah.
That, you know what? That is extremely important, what you just said there. And I guess I should have touched on that or could have touched on that at some point. Part of what you said is what I say to somebody who comes to me and says, hey, I want to be an actor. What's one of the important things to do? I almost inevitably at some point tell them exactly what you just said. And then I sum it up with be a pro.
Right.
Like, period. You show up, you know your stuff, you're ready to work, you're ready to change it if need be, but you're ready with good ideas. You know how the camera works, so you know what to do to help out the cameraman in their job. Meanwhile, you're still doing your job too. You are still making sure that you get your emotions in the right place to perform what you're supposed to perform. But if you can keep mind on their stuff too a tiny bit and help them out and help, as you said, help them get their day, that makes you an asset
Right.
in a big way. As you said, be a solution, be one of their solutions.
Yeah.
I've been so lucky to have done this for almost 30 years. When I get to set, often I know one or two of the crew, depending on where I'm working. It's somebody that I might have worked with last year or 2 years ago or 10 years ago. And it's like, hey, I know you. Hey,
That's
I
a
saw
great
your picture on
feeling.
the board.
Yeah.
Was happy to see you. I was I was like so glad that you got this job, man. It's like, oh, well, like that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, you are a welcome part of this family, because that's what it is. It is one huge family. And if you can be a welcome part of that family, well, just speaking career wise, there's a really good chance that you can be a welcome part of another family because family members talk. And if you're, as you said, if you're easy to get along with, you're part of the solution. Well, then somebody else might hire you because a producer is going to talk to another producer and say, good actor, really nice lady. I want to work with her again. You
Right.
should work with her. And if you don't know someone else, well, then that person might know someone who's looking for a person like that.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, even small things like because time is such a thing on sets, and they're usually needing to shoot more than they have time for and chronically behind and over budget. For me, a big thing is like never be the person that they're waiting on. I mean, I know sometimes you got to go to the bathroom, sometimes shit happens, but like
Yeah,
getting
that's just
getting
life.
to getting to set early, if you're being picked up, making sure you're at your pickup spot early. things like getting the wardrobe early, getting to the, like, I love to get to the sound guy a little early and get mic'd up so that an AD is not like, oh, where is he? Oh, what? You're not
We're-
mic'd up, and then the director's like, okay, we're ready to shoot, and you're still dealing with
yeah,
wardrobe and sound, like just little things like
yeah,
that where I'm on the ready, or communicating with either an AD or a PA that, like, yeah, I'm going 10-1 right now, or I'm going to grab a bite.
hmm
So just people have
yeah,
tabs on you. And then so when they look, they're not
yeah,
like, oh shit, where the fuck is this guy?
yeah,
Busting
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a moving parts industry, and you are just one of those moving
Right.
parts. So if you can keep yourself organized and let others keep you organized together, life is good. Again, be a pro. You know that's part of your job. I think
Yeah.
is just to be available when you're supposed to be available. Gotta prima donna. Don't gotta be standoffish. Walk over there and talk to someone, which is fine. You can do those things, but just there is a set person whose job is to keep tabs on you. Just look over at them, say, "Hey, right over here." Done.
Right.
They know where to find you. Like that's it. It doesn't take much.
Right.
It doesn't take anything. And did that hurt you? No. Did it hurt the production? No. They know where to find you when they really, really need you. Now, mind you, sometimes they need to find you way too early, but so be it. That happens.
Right.
Sometimes you're just going to stand around because they brought you in early. Yeah, okay. That happens. But sometimes they bring you in to use you immediately. So be ready for them.
Right. Yeah. It's almost
It's
like
just,
almost over communicating a little bit just to make sure there's no miscommunications, just being real clear and upfront and
yeah.
checking in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Tales from the Void, which
Yes,
is how we
sir.
met. Tales
Hmm.
from the Void is a horror anthology series. It's people can watch it in the States on Screenbox. You could watch it on Amazon Prime or Super Channel in Canada. I'm sure there's other ways to see it internationally. We had the good fortune to be a part of the premiere, like the pilot episode called Into the Unknown.
That's
It's
right.
anthology like Black Mirror, Twilight Zone,
Black Mirror,
Outer
Twilight
Limits.
Zone.
So yeah, each
It's good
episode
call.
stand alone. And the cool thing, just for our viewers and listeners, is the stories were sourced from the Reddit subthread called No Sleep, which is very viral and vibrant community of horror thriller fans. So all these stories were vetted. I want to go back to like how this project came across your plate, how do you remember your audition experience and how you got to be a part of it?
Not exactly, because I didn't audition for this one. This one came across through my agent, which really doesn't happen that often for
Right.
me. So it's always really cool when it does. 'Cause it just means to me that someone actually appreciates the work.
That's huge.
And
That's like
says,
the holy grail to be like, ooh, this part, ooh, you know who'd be great for this?
yeah,
Martin Roach. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So someone somewhere said, "Hey, you know what? That guy there, he'd be good in this. He's someone that I want." As we said, he's someone that I want to work with. He's someone that I would like to be part of this machine. So I didn't audition for it, but I when we got to the filming location, I had a sit down with Joe,
Yeah. Yeah.
with Joe Lynch,
Director Joe Lynch.
our
Yeah.
director, and he just said, "Yeah, look, I got this job," and I can't remember who he said made him aware of me. And he watched a couple of things and he just said, "You know what? Let's just put this one out to offer where he's what I want. You
Right.
know, he's accessible to this location, which helps. And he's just the guy I want." And my agent sent it to me and I read this one and to me it was straight out of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just took me back to being a kid watching some of those episodes and even recently watching some of the new ones that Jordan Peele was making.
Yeah.
And like you said, like Black Mirror, Outer Limits, it's that kind of creep show, that kind of half hour mystery tapped up real quick. I'm not sure how long this one was. I can't even remember, but
Yeah. I think it
it
timed
just
out maybe around 35-ish, something like
35.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, so a little more. I mean, that's closer to an hour production being 44 and all. But it was just really appealing. And it's a great story. It's
Yeah.
a fantastic story about it. I mean, this episode in particular, this study, our episode, I should say, in particular, is a real good study on human nature
Mhm.
when faced with something unknown. You know, how does one react? How does one face their own fears? How does one face thinking about their community? How does how does one deal with others in their community that are facing that same thing in a totally different manner than themselves? What is your basic instinct? You know, there's your fight and your flights, and the face off is really interesting between all the different facets when they're confronted with the unknown that just appears. I mean, I don't know how much I can give away here, but something
I think
appears in the
we could
neighborhood.
talk, yeah, we talk in broad strokes. For people who are Reddit fans and fans of No Sleep,
I already know.
there's episode breakdowns on the No Sleep podcast. You can go check those
Perfect.
out. The original story on Reddit is called The Black Square. So as Martin's explaining, something paranormal appears in the neighborhood. When I was thinking about it and seeing it, to me the theme was everything you've just said, and also like sort of the idea of there's nothing to fear but fear itself, and how
Yes.
often like in this case it is the unknown, and it's our imaginations often that drive us mad versus the thing actually being a real threat. Like
Mhm.
in this episode, for those people who watch it, and highly encourage you to go watch it on Screen
You
Talk
should.
sometime. And also if you want to read the original story that was adapted, it's called The Black Square. And the just the idea that like that fear can really divide us. We just react in weird ways, like as humans. I mean, there's a lot of that going on in the world and in the US right now, the division
Hmm.
of the enemy within or the enemy
Yep.
across the wall, like the this guy's stealing your job, like all those kind of things
Well,
where all of a sudden neighbors are pitted against each other, and those are neighbors
mhm.
that if you really look at it, they're way more similar than they're different. They like
Yep.
everybody wants, what do you want? You want peace and harmony and love with your family and ability to make some money, put food on your table and a roof over
The
your
table.
house. And that's what we all want, but we all figure out ways because of fear, where we think someone's a threat or
Yeah.
someone's taking something away, and then we do stupid things. And the thing I loved about this episode was it was life isn't black and white as in a sense as this is the bad guy and this is the good guy.
Yes.
Good
Yes.
people make bad decisions and make bad choices. People who have in the past made shitty choices redeem
And
themselves
turn
and
around
then
and
make
make the good
good
choices.
choices. And it's really this ebb and flow of gray areas, and people do,
Yep.
like, we're all human. We all have a shadow side and a light side. And I think this episode really, like, I think for viewers, and I hope for viewers when they look at it, they had a sense of like, well, who's right and who's wrong, and who's the good
Well,
guy, who's
yeah.
the bad guy, like, and that's life more
Well,
so
it
than
should.
he's the bad guy, he's a good guy.
Oh, absolutely. It is matters of gray. The whole thing, you said it perfectly. The whole thing is matters of gray, and there's nobody's really the bad guy or the good guy. It's just there's just subtle differences. And something that you touched upon that I kind of want to just hit again and
Yeah.
reiterate is that this fear is unreal to a degree. Fear is something that's in our own heads.
It's mostly
It's not,
imagination.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Fear is 95% imagination. It's what you're imagining someone is thinking, doing, or what's around the corner. I mean, yes, fear is real when there's a snarling dog jumping at you.
Right.
That's not imagination. That's like, he's attacking, I'm going to die. That's a little different, but the fear that we're talking about here, it really is just fear that's just conjured up from within.
Right. Well,
And
it's to the
and
episode, the fear of the unknown, into the unknown. Yeah. Which is the
exactly.
scariest thing ever.
Exactly. Like, we don't know what this thing is. And again, it's one reaction pitted, literally, it's one type of reaction to the unknown pitted against another type of reaction to the unknown. So one side fears how the other side is perceiving this thing. And that can really be an interesting human dynamic study, I guess, a study of
Yeah.
interpersonal relationships. Because I'll tell you, people, it's going to take some turns.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I'll tell you that.
the one thing I love about it is it's how quickly the whole episode escalates. Like, yeah, it's
Yes.
this guy's
Yeah.
reaction, then this reaction, and this reaction, and
And
this
this
reaction,
reaction.
until like
Yeah.
really the shit has hit the fan and
Yeah.
nobody is in a place that they really want to be by the end. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. It happens really fast. And I think that's what's very true about it. That's what rings true is that sometimes we get into these situations as in society at large, where these reactions just happen on top of reaction way faster than we think it's going to.
Right.
And things get escalated exponentially long before anybody thought they would.
Yeah. And then
And
people are like, whoa,
then,
what are we
then we're all
doing
left on
here?
an edge.
How do we
Yeah,
get
yeah,
here?
exactly.
Yeah.
How did we get here? How are we on this teeter totter 18 stories up, with no safety net? How did that happen? Like, well, we didn't think and we just reacted on top of reactions. Maybe we need to slow down. Maybe we need to ask questions of each other a little more. I think you have to watch something like this with a lot of questions in your mind. I don't think you have a choice but to watch it with a lot of questions because it's going to raise a whole bunch. You will walk away going, well, how could that have happened? How could this have happened? What would have happened if somebody did this? Why did that person escalate this thing like that? Why was that person poo-pooing that? I think you're going to walk away with a lot of questions.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned this to you briefly, if you remember, I think at some point in the airport on the way home. A lot of times when I'm on set, I mean, I'm there to do my work and there to learn, but I'm also noticing other people and wanting to pick up good things from other people. A few things to you, your stillness and your groundedness, like just so still. You had a gravitas to you. I mean, you are like that yourself too, where there's a strength and a stillness and also a quietness and a calmness to you, like a power, but a calm and still power. Your prep and when you were on set, just like the calming presence and also a little bit the voice of reason, which I think the character bleeds into Martin and Martin bleeds into the character in real life.
Yeah.
Actors, are you ready to shoot your strongest monologue yet? Join our free monologue challenge. You'll learn to tackle monologues with expert guidance and professional insights. This is perfect for new actors and seasoned pros. The monologue challenge is designed to help you develop your confidence, polish your delivery, and elevate your acting and monologue skills. Do not miss this chance to push yourself to new heights. Sign up now at actorsauditionclub.com/challenge. That's actorsauditionclub.com/challenge and get ready to shoot your strongest monologue yet so you can showcase your unique talent to agents, casting, and producers. Sign up now at actorsauditionclub.com/challenge.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of to a degree my thing. I guess as an actor, it is often, not always, but it often is part of the package. Like I said, I play versions of myself a lot. I'm able to, I guess, and first of all, thank you, but I guess I'm able to bring forth that, like, honestly, maybe I'm not afraid to bring that to the camera, if you know what I mean. Like as a human being, like that's the part of me that I'm most willing to share, because it is kind of me. I can be excitable and whatever, but I'm also very often I am a fairly chill guy,
Right. Yeah.
So it's like it's easy for me to let you see that part of me.
Yeah, and on film too, like different. I come from a stand-up sketch comedy, like very theatrical, and one of the lessons I've had to learn on film is often you don't need to do anything but be dead still and say the words. Certainly when you know that they're shooting a close up, there's not really room
Mhm.
for any of this kind of stuff or this
Yeah.
or big eyebrows and things.
Hmm.
But just to see you trust, okay, I can just be dead still. I don't need to push too hard on these words to make them
Hmm.
something. I just need to trust them enough, trust that the lens is going to see you, it's going to see your eyes,
Yeah.
it's going to see your
Yep.
thoughts and feel you through that. I think takes a lot of, it can feel very vulnerable and it can feel like this can't possibly be enough. I need to be performing and you need to see a whirling dervish and look at all the cool moves I
Yeah.
got, like, so I really
I
learned that from you. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, you know what? I think again, to go back on it again, it kind of also comes from those early years of auditioning so much of just getting the words in, and you don't have time to get all of this
Right.
stuff going on because
Right.
it's like no, you just want the words and your face.
Right.
And now that we're in the era of what do you call it, self tapes, now that I have to watch myself, I see it a lot more too. I actually see myself and say, no, you're moving too much. It's like I really and I can hear it. I can hear what I like, but I don't like what I'm seeing visually. So it's like, damn it, it's gonna take me however many more takes it takes to get those two
Right.
melded. And and also I guess I've been blessed with a lot of decent directors who they just tell you what they want sometimes.
Right.
When you're sort of giving it to them, they just go, "Hey, yeah, yeah, just don't move so much. It's calm." Like it's
Right.
when you have this deep voice and you do play authority figures a lot. They tell you, "Hey, man, your authority is just in being there.
Right.
Like you come across. Like if you just say it, it'll come across that way. You know, I don't. You don't have to exacerbate it by that by the hand gestures or the face or
Yeah.
whatever, which
Shoulder
yeah,
shrugs. Yeah. All this
yeah, exactly,
gesticulation.
yeah, but I mean the thing is I do like to do that because that's also me in my regular life. I was a bartender for 20 years in the meantime with all this stuff, so part of the gig was, hey, tell a joke,
Yeah. Talking with your
get this guy
hand.
from the back, talk
Yeah.
from the hand, hey, right over that way. So, it's like and see that's what makes me jealous for guys like you who sometimes gesticulate on screen, and it's like they're like, yeah, that was great. I'm like, I don't want to be great like that. It's
Yeah.
like, no, 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 you're the still guy. Oh, well, okay,
Right.
fine. You know?
The other thing that I loved about seeing you on that, so we were up in Sault Ste. Marie, Northern Ontario, for about a week. They flew us up
That's right,
and
the Sue
flew us
baby.
back. Kind of the fun experience of going away to like movie camp for a week. You, and I don't know if you always do this, but you had your golf clubs with you. You somehow,
Oh,
I think, worked in, I don't know if you were golfing every day, but multiple rounds. And I got a real sense, like, I think for some people, being on set completely disrupts their regular life and lifestyle and the flow of their week. It seemed like you, that was just like a perfect meld. Like, yeah, you got the set, and yeah, we're here shooting a big movie, but Martin's got his routine. Martin's got his daily
yeah,
things that he likes to do. Golf is one of them.
absolutely.
How have you learned to weave your regular life into set life and
Oh,
make that all work for you?
wow. I don't even know how I've done that. I mean, I guess I have. I guess I've always rejected 9 to 5. I haven't worked a 9 to 5 since I was probably 21, 22, and I'm in my mid 50s now. I just, I never understood it. I never
Right.
understood that I'm going to work on Monday and I'm not stopping until Friday. Even though sometimes on set, yeah, that's what you have. But I've had these time periods my whole adult life where, okay, it's Tuesday, nothing's happening. Let's go play some golf, basketball, hockey, whatever, or just meet a friend. So to me, that just is life. Like that is my normal life. It always has
Right.
been, like grab my kids when they were young. It's like, okay, well, we're going to the driving range. Why? Because it's the summertime, you're not in school, and I like golf. And you can hit, you can not, you can play with toys, you can go on, but that's what we're doing. So to me, something like that is just natural. If I have time, and I'm on this set, I had a day off here and a day off there and a day off there type thing. I'm like, okay. I talked to my friend, and he said, "There's this golf course and that golf course around there. All right, I'm bringing my clubs in. Why not?" And if I don't bring my clubs, what am I doing? I should already know my lines, so I'm not going to be just sitting around doing that. I'm not the greatest tourist in the world. I don't, I'm the
Well,
kind of guy.
I don't know that Sault
Goes up to
Ste. Marie is the greatest tourist destination either. So
yeah,
there's
that's pretty
a
good
couple
point.
good looking steel mills up there, I think. Yeah.
Go out, go mo. But even here, I'm in Halifax right now. I've been here for a couple of months, and I had my clubs with me, and I brought a tennis racket, and I found a couple of different people to play with. Even one of my other cast members is a tennis player, so we got out for a few matches. I just believe that you have to be you. Otherwise you're going to be completely displaced. You have to have some of your normal life. Otherwise, are you going to sit in a hotel room just going, "Oh, I'm not in my home"?
Right.
You can't do that. That probably won't be good for the production. And I assume it won't be. So if you can do something that occupies your time, and something like the things that I do that are passions of mine anyhow, why wouldn't I? I think you guys are crazy that you didn't bring your golf clubs or tennis rackets or whatever. It's like, see you later, man. I got the day off. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to
Yeah.
do that every time.
You had a paid golf vacation where you also got to act in a cool movie.
Exactly. See, it's the
Great.
best of both worlds. And,
Yeah.
and I think I've always been jealous of Sam Jackson, who gets golf memberships bought for him by every set he's on. He's like,
Really?
all of his contracts, he's like, yeah, you can work in that golf every day. And the production, that's part of his deal, because
Wow.
he gets a little thing and he golfs as many times as possible. That's
Well,
his. I'm like, hey, good for you, man.
talk to your agent, get him to write that into the Martin Rider. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think I'd be working too much if I start trying to write that one in. It's like, and you'll provide Martin golfing opportunities. We will what? Maybe not.
What do you normally shoot? I'm curious. I know it seems like you golf a lot, so you must be pretty good. What do you normally shoot on
I'm,
18?
I'm on 18. I'm anywhere from, say, when I'm playing well, from 80 to 83. When I'm not
Nice.
playing well, 84 to 92 ish.
It's still great.
Um,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a 30-year love-hate affair.
Nice. Have you ever been
Yeah.
in a golf movie, golf series, anything like that? That seemed like that would be the perfect amalgamation.
Nothing.
No. All right. Well, we'll
Nobody
put it out there.
for golf
This is a
movies.
podcast where we
Exactly.
manifest things. World Martin Roach needs to
Exactly.
be in a golf film. Yeah.
Exactly. I need to be in a golf film. I need to play Lenny Kravitz in a movie. That's it. Then I
Here
can
you
quit.
go.
Then I'm done.
Well, maybe we can check both boxes. Play Lenny Kravitz as a golfer in a golf movie. There you go. Yeah.
Come on, world. Come on, world. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. Yeah. There you
Make it
go.
happen.
Is there, speaking of future aspirations, is there anything else that you're working on right now that you want to pump up, or any other
Yeah.
things on your bucket list of as an actor that you want to get into? What's on the horizon for Martin?
Well, you can check out next, I think it'll be March, a show called Last Frontier, which we just filmed. I just finished filming. So who's going to be the Apple TV? I think it's going to be pretty fantastic. And I'm here in Halifax working on something called The Institute. So it's going to be an MGM show next year. So there's two great opportunities to see me do, some acting stuff. Uh, After this, I'm gainfully unemployed like the most of us, which I kind of like sometimes. Aspirations, I really would like to do a sitcom,
Yeah.
quite frankly. I
Yeah.
just because I don't do it. And I'm not the funniest guy around, but I think I have some things to contribute that I'd make a good, decent character on one that was,
Right.
that I don't even have to be a regular. I want to be the guy that shows up every 3 episodes and
Yeah.
just plugs away at something.
Yeah, I
I
could
think that'd be
easily
a
see
lot
you
of
on
fun.
like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I could see you in that world. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have something to offer there.
Totally.
I mean, the thing is, I can see, even though I have done comedy, it's not really my world because I'm not a funny guy. Like you're a funny guy. You can pull it off. I've sat around with comedians before. I remember once shooting a commercial with 5 comedians, and it was a 2-day shoot. And oh my God, I thought I was going to die because they just never stopped.
Could be
They
exhausting.
just
Yeah.
it was exhausting, but it was great. But it was bizarre. It was wonderful. It was like, please shut up. Please.
Right.
Please
Just
shut up. No,
bits
don't,
on bits
don't
on
shut up.
bits on
Yes,
bits on
bits on
bits.
bits on
Yeah.
bits on bits. And I'm just like, okay, I knew then, this was probably 20 years ago. And I'm like, okay, I don't got that. Like, I just don't got that. I got a little joke here and there, and I've been telling the same jokes for 25 years. I mean, I tell them well, but I've been telling them for 25 years.
Right. Where's the best
So
spot for somebody to connect with you on social?
best spot is Insta
Instagram?
at this moment. Yeah, yeah, at Roachmont Motel. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Okay. Roachmont Motel. We'll link that up in the show notes as well. Any final thoughts, advice to younger actors, or you could frame this as advice to your younger self? Parting words of wisdom?
Parting words of wisdom. I would just have to harken back to what I said earlier, and you mentioned it too. Just be a pro for real. It will only behoove you. And in addition to that, you're never necessarily auditioning for the role that you're auditioning for. You're auditioning for the next part. Because even if you hate this audition that you're doing, do as good a bloody job as you can because you don't know who's going to watch it. You back to what I was saying earlier again, you don't know if this producer has a friend who's a director that needs someone like you. It might not manifest for 6 months, a year, 2 years, but eventually it does. Word gets around, people talk. It doesn't matter. Same thing when you're on the job. If you hate the job, be a pro. Do as best a job as you can. Do the part justice because that is the best audition you're ever going to do for the next part.
Mike?
Somebody's watching. Somebody who may hire you is watching. And that's really it, I think. I mean, that's the essence of what we do. I mean, you want to do a good job for the sake of doing a good job, to prove to yourself that you can do this and to do this thing that we do, that we were born to do. So do it well. Get another job. All right? It's just that simple.
It's just that simple. Just be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, be brilliant. We can all do it.
I don't know what the big deal is. This has been great, Martin. Thank you so much for hopping on. Make sure that everyone watches Tales from the Void on Screenbox, streaming in the US, or on Prime and Super Channel in Canada, or Google it. And
That's right. So there's no reason not to see it.
Yeah, you can read the story, The Black Square, on Reddit, the No Sleep sub. This has been great. I think you summed it up. You are the consummate professional. Thanks for being a part of this. So great to work with you, and looking forward to the next time we get to share a screen together.
Yeah, it'd be nice. That's nice. Hey, let's write something in angle on it. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll get that sitcom going. Yeah. Okay.
See, now we're manifesting.
Yeah, get it out there. Or a round of golf next summer. Yeah.
I'm game.
That'd be
I'm
great.
always game for a round, brother.
That'd be great. I'm a little closer to 90 myself usually, but I'll do my best to keep up to you.
Dude. Don't worry. Just give me a drink or two. I'll keep up with you.
All right. You're the best. This has been great. Thank you so much. And this has been Inside the Audition. Hey, this is Joey Freddie Larson. I want to say thank you so much for listening to another fantastic episode of Inside the Audition. If you're still struggling with your self-tape auditions, now is the time to join Actors Audition Club. You'll get expert coaching, practical tips, and support from a community that is dedicated to helping actors succeed. Our members receive personalized guidance, insider advice that ensures every audition reflects your true talent. If you're serious about booking more roles and leveling up your audition game, Actors Audition Club is the place to be. Visit www.actorsauditionclub.com to join today and make sure that you make your next audition count. Once again, you can join at actorsauditionclub.com and we will help you shoot standout auditions in less time.